Greetings and good morning to each and every one of you out there. It is a marvelous Monday. That's right, the first Monday of the last of July. It's gonna be an interesting day. It is July 28th, 2025. We are headed to August. August is a month of travel for me, so I will be coming to you live from many locations, but that's only if you're still subscribed to the channel. Why do I say it that way? Well, because there's this silly thing called YouTube, and they are unsubscribing people by the dozens each and every day. So double check you're still subscribed to the channel. If you are not, resubscribe, turn on the notification bell, and make sure to watch 2 videos back to back today, because that'll actually let YouTube know that you enjoy what you're seeing. You can also check out the new channel, Campeone, which, needs more growth. So we got to try to get that to 1,000 as quickly as we possibly can, if not more. I'd like to be able to turn on monetization on that channel, and I'd like to be able to get even more content over there, which we dropped a video there this morning. We also dropped a video today that dives into whether or not Fantastic Four was a success. I'm sure you can judge for yourself because you probably have seen the film, but there was nothing special. If anything, it was lesser than what Superman had to offer, and the box office is actually showing it. I want to say thank you to Ruby Hoove. Thank you for gifting a Culture Casino membership out there, and it's good to see all of you in the house. And we had a question this morning. Just Dutchie was here, but we had a question from Walter Tomaszewski himself, Shamashevsky to say it properly, but hey, old habits die hard. Look, there's something I don't get. If 18 to 26-year-olds don't have the disposable income they did 15 or so years ago, how can they afford K-pop or Taylor Swift concert? Outside of getting money from their parents, they borrow the money. They use credit to go into debt to acquire enough to make those concerts. I understand the conundrum here. And the truth is, if you look at what they've done, they've actually reduced the number of jobs for young people by increasing wages. They also increased the prices of the things that, the youth aren't affording. I assure you, if we ran into a situation for live music or any other form of entertainment venues would be forced to lower prices. We've seen concert sizes be reduced dramatically, venue locations being shrunk. This happened for a lot of concerts, including the second coming of some of the famous rock acts. They used to formerly have talented people as singers like Chester, the frontman for Linkin Park. Linkin Park had to go and downsize all the venues they were going to be in California. So it's a combination of various things, but your instinct is correct. So I agree with you entirely. That's just, they just don't have that kind of money. They'll sacrifice in other places and or go into debt. Been seeing that a lot lately. Hey, it's Master of Puppets or Pastor of Muppets. Good to see you. Our friend is here, as well as Juliet from across the pond. Great to see you, dear, along with all the amazing mods that are here as well. What else we got? We got more. Caledon 910, our favorite radio station, is here. We got Swift, -1, otherwise known as Matt G, being the Swiftie that you all want to be. All right, folks, let's get to it. 6 minutes starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are and whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6 Minute Daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it, and I am very excited to present the Fantastic Four, or Bore, or Flop, or whatever you want to throw at this thing, because it is peaking early, and it's also starting to descend rapidly. It came in lighter than they were praying for, hoping for, doing whatever kind of dance they were doing around a fire for. 118 million instead of the 225 that they were hoping for globally, and also the 125 they were hoping for here in the domestic market. But they're saying it's still super, even though it wasn't as good as Superman, which was the thing they were all in a hyper fit about, which didn't come to pass. It also it descended rapidly. Check out today's video for further details on that, but you're looking at Superman already crossing 500 million, chasing down the dinosaur movie, which is really not doing as well as a lot of people had hoped. Fantastic Four made 218 globally. Okay, still not 225. Coming in a little bit short, just like Pedro Pascal. We've got, the first $100 million box office opening for Disney and Marvel this year. So there's that. That's something. Well, it's not technically for Disney. It's just for Marvel. But yeah, they've sucked this year. And this is just a little bit slightly better version of suck when it comes to box office performance. Donald Trump did something that they say is repeating a false claim that Beyonce was paid $11 million to endorse Kamala Harris. Well, he wouldn't be saying it if there wasn't something to back it, so I'm going to wait for this one to get decided in court. Not sure about y'all. I just accidentally closed one of the stories we were going to have, so that's a bummer, but I didn't close this one. Tron Ares blasts Comic-Con with Light Cycle, light boat chases, 9 Inch Nails music video, and so much more. It was actually kind of the entertainment enterprise you would expect from old Marvel. But again, Disney didn't bring Marvel to Comic-Con because, well, it had already dropped the movie, so there probably wasn't any point. World of Real gives us a little bit of inside knowledge that the Coyote versus Acme film is setting a release of August of 2026. I have a feeling that once this is finished and out there in the world, Warner Brothers is going to wish they were able to capitalize on these properties. We've got Five Nights at Freddy's trailer. If you've seen the trailer for the second film, it confirms the December 5th theatrical release, and it also looks like it's going to be excellent, sticking with practical effects and, well, the same kind of thought process they did with the games. This is going to be a good follow-up, unlike Megan, which was a complete disaster. Gwyneth Paltrow, apparently, because she played a CEO on films, astronomers hired her, at least for a temporary spokesperson, as both the CEO and HR chief were forced to resign after smooching in a scandal. Not a good thing at all. Jay Leno questions why late night hosts alienate half their audiences. This was something I was going to do a video on, and then I realized it only has about 4 minutes of material, so I'll just do it here. Jay Leno is the, I guess, old man of late night now, and he makes some solid points. Why would you alienate half of the people you're supposed to appeal to? And when you do that, what happens? Well, lots. People don't seem to stay interested. Let's see. We got niche sports are not so niche anymore, at least according to the Hollywood Reporter. No, they just are stupider at marketing themselves. They also don't make any money like the WNBA. Pay us what you owe us. Well, you don't make any money, so you owe even you, Caitlin, owe the WNBA owners about $249,000 each. Pay up. I'm sure they would appreciate it. US-EU set a deal, 15% tariffs on, EU goods, and free access to the entire market. That'll be fun. We've got the US and China also meeting in Stockholm to discuss how to sort out their tariff issue. Otherwise, tariffs for China to the moon, baby. Speaking of to the moon, Wall Street is headed to the moon, hovering near another record in a week full of potential flashpoints, deals, and all kinds of other great things for the United States. Temu is accused by EU regulators of failing to prevent sale of illegal products, which is something that, well, they do a very good job of. And passenger had to flee a smoking jet on an emergency slide after an apparent landing gear issue at Denver Airport. That happens from time to time. We've got LA's Health confirming that their data breach affected 1.4 million Americans. That, I would say, is no bueno. And, we got that one. We have to talk about the Bears. The Bears are in trouble. The Bears have been misbehaving, and they've now had to euthanize 2 of them this summer in Yellowstone. It's not just because of the access to food and the fact that they can bypass the food protecting or bear-resistant food storage. It's the fact that they're becoming more and more aggressive as their numbers grow. They're not afraid of humans anymore, and that doesn't just matter to grizzlies, it matters to all bears. And I'm a fan of the bears, but I'm not a fan of the bears biting, eating, mauling people, which has happened 3 times in the last 4 days. We need to stop that. And how do you do that? Well, you have to have a bear hunt occasionally, and not only do you manage the population and feed people and, well, provide hides perhaps, you also make the bears scared of human beings, which they need to be. In all honesty, it had been 5 years prior to this recent event that they've had to euthanize bears, and it's because of the food conditioning and the habituated, status of humans. So I just thought I would extend the bonus time slightly to tell you, be bear aware, and apparently somehow magically restart the thing. Except I stopped it. Regardless, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the bears, protecting the bears. And part of protecting the bears is, culling their numbers and making them afraid of humans again. That's another reason why wolves are usually not very aggressive to human beings unless they are habituated and food conditioned by humans. In other words, don't feed the bears. Don't leave them access to food. Same thing with wolves and other wild animals that could eat your face. So try not to get your face eaten. Okay? Thank you. I want to say thanks to those of you on the green machine. I appreciate each and every one of you. It's good to see Longest Parsec, Ms. Pick Cafe, Dr. Jill, and Tom over there, along with Crazy White Boy and Tobak. We got a few other folks over on the red side of things. It's good to see you on the tubes. I want to say thank you to Master of Puppets, who says, Wednesday's my wedding. Joy. I feel well. Congratulations, Master of Puppets. Congratulations. I hope you experience that joy for the rest of your life. There'll be some days it'll be hard, but I promise you, the end result at the end of your life will be a lifetime of good memories, almost always. And I want to say thank you to Ruby Hoove, who sent a $2 super duper chat for the following statement. Ba-bang. It's dangerously hot right now. Stay safe and stay cool. That's true. It is. And by the way, Ruby Hoove gifted a Culture Casino membership earlier that I called out, and that went to Just a Dutchie. Welcome to the membership, my friend. All right, let's see what else y'all have to say. We got a lot. Went through an awful lot today. I'll just say this. I did not mistitle my video. I really do believe that there's a decent possibility that Fantastic Boar is going to come up short like all the other offerings that Marvel's given us this year. It's been kind of rough, to be fair. Hey, Troy Pacelli's in the house. We got Timmy and Morgan King. Good to see you all. We got a few other folks rolling through the door. Mark Daly's out there saying hi to everybody, along with Mr. Cat and Zax. I have to see that. Did Sue Storm dye her hair? I think she's been dyeing her hair forever. But as far as the character, it still looked as, dirty, blonde, silver weird as normal as she does her hair anyway. And if I were engaged to that woman who's actually pregnant, I think I'd be rethinking that engagement. If unless you can confirm that's definitely your kid. There's some real weird shenanigans going on there. I saw Zax. He had all the girls on a few days ago on his show. Well done, my friend. Let's see. Kaladin 910's out there. Carl Singh is out there. Breeze Feats is out there saying, I recommend the No Agenda podcast. Okay. Adam Curry and John Vorak cover the insane Slit Queen, Ursula's spending proposals for the EU. It's all rainbows, unicorns, green energy, and on and on. It's actually a disaster for them, Breeze Feats. I'm sure you know. Not a huge fan of European politics at the moment. They are taking out entire countries and going to turn them into disaster zones of the future for us here in the, actually, in the actual West. Going to be a problem. Let's see who's out there. If Trump goes after Al Sharpton, that would be a huge win. That's funny. Well, I don't know. A virtual reality fitness. How's it going out there? Good to see us. As Fantastic Four came even lower than expected. It did. Yeah, it came in much lower. I think it's kind of embarrassing, to be fair. With what they were touting it as its potential performance versus what it actually ended up with. I want to say a quick thank you to Scott Westbrook for 5 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you for that, my friend. We've had a lot of generosity here today. Scott Westbrook is one of many for gifties, and I appreciate it. MURU says hi to Juliet. Ruby Hoove comes through with another super duper chat. Oh, wait, nope, same one. It's dangerously hot out there. That's right. Do be careful. I hope everything is good. Da, 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 da. Jay Leno was really based. He's an interesting guy. He needs to stop lighting himself on fire, especially his face, but that's a different conversation. Coming, Dallas. What's going on, my friend? KG Jung is out there and says Jay took over from Carson. Yep. So he can actually remember when the late night was meant to be funny and entertaining and take swings with both fists in both directions. You have to spread it on evenly for it to be funny. That's very, very true. Let's see. We had a few more super duper chats, member chats, and other chats, like one from Hoove who says, "Good morning, all. Here's hoping everyone has a fantastic end of July and beginning of August. Not hanging around the chat, but I'll be listening in. Thank you, friend, and thank you for gifting a membership to some lucky party out there, Hoove. Much appreciated." It's been a day already. We've got so much going on. We've got Kamagon saying hi to people, including Jill out there. We've got Crazy White Boy, as I said before. Michael Weinfertner is out there. Great to see you, my friend. Hey, Philip Gaming is in the house. Good to see you. And Davina's here. Good morning, Davina. Cynthia Carter, good morning to you folks. Good morning to you, dear. Hope everything's going well. Yeah, so Midnight's Edge in the morning, we are definitely talking about the box office and the shortfalls for Fantastic Four. Again, I mean, is it a big deal that it fell short $6 million? It is to them. They were planning on beating Superman's box office. Is it a big deal that they kept a trend going of lower and lower box office performance since they opened? Yeah, it's a big deal. It's not a huge deal. It's possible that it could have some good word of mouth from people who, haven't had the Force Awakens effect hit them in the brain yet. But I think that's going to be a real thing with that movie, because I think a lot of people are going to be like, okay, I went to the movies. I saw a movie that was basically just a bunch of trailers, which is what the film was, just a bunch of trailers. And I keep thinking about it. There was no way I could spoil the film unless I told you the last 5.5 minutes of it. That's the only way I could spoil it. Everything else you'd seen and or were privy to, either through clips or other places. So if you paid attention at all, even if you're a normie, you kind of knew the entire movie. And when you saw the movie, you probably realized, well, there's only really 3 important scenes in here, and I already knew them. The only thing I didn't know was exactly how they were going to solve the Galactus problem, which they had to reshoot at the end anyway. So they removed an awful lot to get rid of unnecessary runtime and boredom, which included, unfortunately, John Malkovich. And they had to significantly reduce Mole Man's participation in the storyline that was supposed to be around Natasha Lyonne. Yeah, there was a whole story there. And they cut all of that out, and it still wasn't all that intriguing. If you, again, pull out the 3 action scenes that were there and one time, 2 times that Ben Grimm uses his powers, the one time that Reed uses his powers, and the very centered story around Sue, not just because of her motherhood and, the gift of life, which I think is a good thing, but they, if you hear her talking about it, she wants that character to go evil and a little bit masochistic, full on BDSM. At least that's what she said in interviews. I don't know, folks. I think we've got a problem. I truly, truly do. All right. Fantastic Four. That's right. It was. I'm not kidding you. Not a lot to it. Where are you forwarding us later? I gotta up my bands on my new account. Well, you're headed to Midnight's Edge in the morning. Yeah, because we're going to talk box office. Aren't Disney shareholders used to underperforming by now? Yeah, I think so. KG, I think so. I'm kind of bummed. I mean, in all honesty, to be fair. But I just want to say thanks again to Who for the 36 months of membership and support. He was a wonderful person to hang out with for the High Roller stream on Saturday. Hopefully, you guys have a chance to revisit that. It was very, very good. And once again, thank you to Scott Westbrook. Oh, I forgot. I owe you guys a little thank you. Thanks for the cheddar. Thanks for the cheddar.
Oh, man, that's some sweet cheddar. Guys. Yeah.
And again, thank you all for your support. You make the gigawatts. Although we're less powered by gigawatts and more powered by outrage, but still, Angela Richter is out there. The lovely lady with the beautiful cat. Look at that. Sumatran tiger. She's had everything. The Siberian. She's got a whole group of amazing, powerful predators. JPRPH1, thanks for being here, my friend, and your contributions to the channel. We've got amazing folks out there. Mark Daly says, I remember when they were fighting to force Jay off the air. At the time, I thought it was about age, but now I think he wouldn't agree with the pivot to the left-wing propaganda. Nope. That, and at a certain point, you just get tired of performing. And his whole life, whether he was on stage or elsewhere, it was performing. And while he was a interesting kind of comedian, he was not about forcing a divide. And everybody at the end of his shows could come together and have enjoyed themselves. So a little bit different. So you're correct. I don't think it would have worked well. Andy Masterson, good morning to you. I hope you're being safe since you're on the road. And I do also believe that Jay Leno is happier in his retirement. Look, at a certain point, you just got to be done. John the Beagle Dad is out there. Good to see him. A few other folks popping through the door. Trying to see who else popped through. Lots of folks. I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for being here on this marvelous Monday. We do have a lot of entertainment coming up for you later in the day. Pro's been dropping videos like crazy. I think he's up to 4 videos a day now. You get a mix of clips, and you get original content. Those things are flying like crazy through that channel. You got lots coming out from that Park Place. Midnight's Edge in the morning, Midnight's Edge, excuse me. They are releasing videos regularly, and they're all of good quality. Valiant Renegade is, doing multiple lives and now multiple channels. Congratulations to him. Just amazing stuff going on. I'm just very, very grateful. Red Terror 1978 said, watch Jaws with my son last week. Awesome. And showed him how each shot and every piece of dialogue matters in that movie. Man, I love that movie. I love that movie too. And yes, this was back in the day when you cut everything to the Titan curlies and everything was part of the film itself. Quality directors and writers and producers back then knew how to put and assemble things, even when they weren't going well, because as Red Terror also knows, that particular film was a disaster. That was a nightmare production, and they could not get the mechanical shark to work, which is why the movie turned out so great, because they had to build up the suspense and do other things to get your mind to think about what it was under the water there. Brilliantly done. Brilliantly done. Let's see who else is out there. That's right. If you're into gear, you'll probably at least like FF. If not, if you focus more on story, then you're poop out of luck. You know what, Jill? You're right. And you know what? I'm still fixated on the fact that the gear wasn't all that great. The faster than light drive and a lot of the other nonsense. It's like, okay. Whatever. Lord Thoth in the house, one of the great wrenches around here. Thank you for the acknowledgement from Penny. And the lovely Pam Epson is here. The EU is going to need to fix itself soon, or else it might reach the point of no return. They need to start removing people who are there illegally, and close the gates, folks. Close the gates. Have people return to their home countries and fix them. That's what needs to happen. Don't come and destroy other countries. Thank you. Angela Richter says the big four of genus Panthera. That's right. She likes the big cat. I like the big cats too. Well, we can get into the panther discussion another day, but amazing animals. Grim is here. Good to see you, Grim. Hope you're doing well. And other folks. Putin's cat. I noticed the name change. Wasn't sure why, but yeah. Look at all these amazing people out there. It's amazing. All right. What else has been going on, folks? I mean, we could talk about the fact that Paramount is the stock got a boost from the merger talk, and then it kind of settled down. They're really kind of in the midst of what is going to be the pre-mass layoffs and just handing out regular layoffs to the people that are going to be joining Skydance. Normal paths for mergers and acquisitions usually follows the same playbook, no matter what industry it is, with up to 40% of the existing staff eventually losing their jobs. In the media industry, a lot of that is because of a lot of fat. They do actually need to cut the fat, but sometimes they cut things that they shouldn't, and you end up with in a position where you need to reacquire somebody to do some of those jobs. Paramount, on the other hand, has been slowly sabotaging their offerings for the better part of 8 years now. And the merger or the recombining of CBS Viacom was probably the worst thing they could have ever done. Breaking up in the first place was done purely for a profit motive. But recombining was a costly endeavor that actually put them behind the 8 ball on everything, including streaming. If they were going to try to be competitive with anybody else, which it seems like they spent the money to be, that was a terrible idea. They had terrible leadership for a long period of time, and with the loss of the patriarch, the matriarch was left holding the bag, trying to keep the studio elements and everything together long enough to sell it to somebody else. National Amusements ownership and the type of ownership it had was the only way that that was able to happen, and Shari Redstone was able to realize the ability to keep her legacy. So there's that. Our great friend, the wonderful one himself, who I will be seeing shortly in less than a month, or right about a month, actually. Mexican Iron Man for 10 Culture Casino Cash, the man himself. New show, Migrant Casino. Oh, okay. Watch live from the LA ICE Detention Center. Ooh, this sounds spicy. As Culture reports on the protests, the twist, Mexican Iron Man swaps Culture's passport, and Culture is deported to El Salvador. Fun. Not for me, bro. That doesn't sound like a good time. Plus, it'll be hard to broadcast from down there. I mean, isn't that where they basically have some crazy stuff going on? Or is that the place where they're putting people into, if they're in gangs, into big cement buildings that they don't want to let them out of? I don't know. Just FYI, there are no panthers. There are melanistic leopards. That's true. This is something that, this is one of those factoids that you should all know that are in genus Panthera. There are lions, tigers, and leopards, and jaguars. And I will tell you that melanistic leopard if you look closely, not only are they black, but they have the same spots as the leopards. So there's that. So there you go. It's fantastic. Davina Duckworth says, understand storytelling, understand the human experience and the thrills and intrigues audiences. Yeah, and what thrills and intrigues audiences. No politics, no propaganda, just stuff that we would enjoy. I'm with you. And yet, believe it or not, a lot of people are like, well, it's not woke. I'm like, it's very construction. It's very gynocentric nature. Okay. It is 100% politically motivated. Its very existence is because of a guy who said he was going to replace the vast majority of superheroes that were male with women. That's not me saying that. That's him saying that. That's what happened. So it's a different conversation indeed, but it's a very real one. Count Alucard. Hated the female president and all girl bosses in the latest Mission Impossible film. That was not a great situation either. If that was the only place where Tom had to bend the knee to get the thing done, I understand it. But I'm starting to recognize and see some people's perspective that the likelihood that we would have a female president is not as high as people had hoped. In fact, if anything, it's going down based on how emotionally things have been run in certain circumstances. And ladies, I'm not taking shots at you right now. I'm just saying that the electorate, the people that vote, may have a harder time because of certain outcomes. So, again, I'll watch the Culture Force shaving. No. Who else is out there? New Foodtastic 4 film is feminist garbage. Yeah, not. It's not even just that. It's just that it's not entertaining. I mean, again, the mechanics of the film is where the politics are buried, but and the fact that there was really nothing of consequence done by the males at all, ever. And there was a lot of just filler. If you seriously go back through the film in your mind's eye, filler, 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 filler. And a lot of, if not most, you've already seen in either the form of the trailers or anything that surrounded the promotion of the film. The marketing team didn't help it at all. And word of mouth is meh. And I'm going to tell you right now, meh doesn't make $1 billion. It just doesn't. Culture, have you opened your salon yet to sell your hair care products? I'm going to sell them eventually. I thought I could just do X, Y, and Z and make that happen. And I have everything I've tried to do, I've been thwarted at every turn, but I will bring them out. We will have them soon enough. Let's see. Georgia Peach has her local theater airing great things. That's good. Yeah, if you can find a theater showing Jaws, go see it. Angela, I have used my education today. My parents can now STFU. Hey, good stuff. George Morales II is here. Good to see you. Tom probably thought Kamala was going to win is why he did it. I don't know. I think, again, in order to get things made under the current studio structure, you have to make a whole lot of virtue signals to get it done. It's part of the new process. You have to hire X number of people from this supposed minority. You have to have X number of chicks doing this thing. You have to have, you can have dudes, but they have to be of this kind of, background. And, it's all nonsense. It's performative. And now movies, even movies. In fact, I would say the majority of movies now are performative. I think that's one of the bigger problems. Who else is out there? Heartless Shooms, like, no offense taken. I would be a terrible president, especially during a certain week every month. Well, I'm sorry about that. Look, I'm one of those people that believe that you could certainly have a female president, but they would have to be probably with a military background and be or represent themselves as incredibly based, law and order, logical thinker kind of person. That's going to be very few indeed. It's one of the reasons why I always thought that Tulsi Gabbard would have made a great presidential candidate. Right now, she's making a pretty good DNI, to be fair. Milton Bradley in the House says, would never vote for a female president, Republican or Democrat. I would vote for the best candidate. That's me. I vote for the best person in the job at all times. But when people say it's going to be difficult to get a female president, I agree with them. The beautiful Daypal. Good to see you. Me and my monkey out there as well. Right now, there's a shortage of good candidates, Mark. I think when it comes to the politics of it all, I think we struggle to find qualified and of good ethical background, morals, whatever term you want to use, humans to be candidates. Oftentimes, they're either running their own enterprises or embedded in a community that they're, just perfectly fine being in. And finding the people that are willing to, sacrifice an awful lot of time and be responsible with that activity is limited. Right now, we have a very fully corrupt, doesn't matter what party, political structure. It's been corrupted over time with power and money, and that's the other thing. We need to get lobbying and money out of politics. How are you going to do that? The cat's out of the bag. So you have to get a bunch of incredibly ethical, moral people into office and have them put those laws in place so that that can't happen again. So it is what it is. All right. Milton Bradley's got jokes today. Look at all these amazing people today. This is beautiful. Now, Grace Randolph, I'm really liking Willow. But what about behind the camera? Yeah. Well, Willow didn't last but 10 minutes, so yeah. Almighty Black Az says, I'm tired of John Wick. Understood. Yeah. We'll have to see what happens with the franchise there. But in a broader sense, I understand that. Hey, Robert's out there for $2. Robert, I am going to be recording your video review either tonight or tomorrow. Probably going to end up being tomorrow before the new Lauren and Apollo show. I'll probably do the recording. And so I'll have it out by the end of the week. I've talked about your film a few times. 15 days. You should, if you have Tubi, it's free. Take the time to watch it and look at something that one of our own creators has put together as a film. And then You can critique it to him if you want to, but he's here and he sends a super chat that says, I should have, F4 should have been a springboard for Doomsday. It was not. If this is the springboard, Doomsday is doomed. I think I've said that before, and I said it leading into the film that this had to be a monstrous home run, a grand salami, and it wasn't. So I think it's going to be a problem. I think there's a shortage of all political candidates. If I didn't express that before, I just want to say it here. J, the favorite number of the alphabet. Of course, it's a letter, but hey, for $2, great to see you, my friend. Says vote Mexican Iron Man for president. That would actually be a solid fiscal decision. Mexican Iron Man can operate the country like a business and put us back on a firm financial footing. That's always a good thing. All right. We got lots of folks out there in the chat. I can't believe it. You guys are on fire. Thank you for the financial contributions. Those help keeping the lights on as YouTube tries to limit the amount of earnings that YouTube creators have. I will say it one last time. I'll try not to say it again after this. YouTube is going after creators, independent creators. They are trying to favor the legacy media. You really do, in an aggressive manner, try to support the actual creators that you enjoy and weed out from your feed, which you can actually control on the PC side of things, the channels that they're trying to force upon you. I'm sure they're trying to force Colbert clips and Fallon clips and other clips like that on you every single day. You can get rid of those in favor of the ones that you appreciate, and you can show extra favor to the creators that you enjoy, not just by subscribing to the channels and obviously hitting the thumbs up button on the things that they make, but also watch at least 2 videos consecutively from your favorite creators. That means you have to watch a playlist, so be it, but it allows for YouTube to understand that you're really genuinely interested in what this person does. And the reason that I mentioned hitting the thumbs up button is it's one of the ways that you can show active participation in that particular content, as well as comments. Comments are now becoming even more valuable because that's how they're going to start to count views. Believe it or not, you can watch the video, but the way a creator is going to be acknowledged for their creation is by the participation in the video, which again will be with comments, thumbs ups, etc., etc. So there's that. Art Vandaley is in the house. Good morning from Seattle. Well, good morning to you, and I hope you are enjoying a lovely northwestern brisk day, because I think it was looking a little cooler up in that neck of the woods as opposed to where we got it here. And might be a little wet. At least it was every time I've been to Seattle. It's been wet. It's the wet capital of the world. So wet, in fact, that people actually live in houseboats. They literally build houses that can float in Washington. Are chats equal to comments in the live stream world? Yes. Breeze feats, 100%. That's the I equivalent. It's one of the reasons why I am always overjoyed that you guys are chatting like crazy to each other in the chats. I think that's wonderful. Swift -1. That's right. Matt G out there says third party Swift for 28. That will reunite us. I don't think that's true, Matt G, but thank you for the member chat. I appreciate that. Loanna of the Shell People says fish are hard. They try to escape. That's true. Words are hard. I try to mispronounce them as often as possible, usually to comedic effect. Our great friend Jaffo is out there, a very talented artist and a very funny man. Great to see you, my friend. That service dog is returned. So I'm watching on my television. It won't count since you can't comment. Not true. Television views have a different, believe it or not, it does technically depend on the device, but television views like on set top boxes and things like that um, are certainly counted. In fact, they may even start to be weighted more in the algorithm as far as interest, which would generate more people here because that would be put in more people's feeds. So, yeah, don't misunderstand. Overall total views are still going to be important because it'll drive even more people into into the channel because it'll be represented on more feeds. But when it comes to overall interaction for the monetary measure, believe it or not, it's definitely weighted that way. And we're starting to see it for real in addition to where it's being actually presented by YouTube in the creator side of the equation. We got SFXF 314 Sabertooth Raptor for 5. Culture Casino Cash saying Culture Casino Man defeats F4 Man in 6-minute daily. F4 Man just blinks in shock and goes into the corner with a dunce cap. Yep, that would be Pedro Pascal. In fact, thank you, SFX at 314 Sabertooth Raptor, for your contribution. And Radio Drago returns for £5 sterling. That's proper money, ladies and gentlemen. It's worth more than American bucks. I want to say thank you and hello, Culture. Sorry for not being here for quite some time. The logarithm hasn't been notifying me of your videos, and that's the other problem, which is another reason why I will stay one more time. If you want to support your favorite creators, watch more than one of their things each week consecutively. So if you go to their playlist and you watch a couple of their videos in a row, bueno. You're also going to start to see creators create more material. It may be not of the same length. Some of them may reduce the quality on all of their stuff so they can make more. But the goal would be to get more out there, to have more to offer, to help drive the algorithm back so they have regular growth. And that's part of the equation. But thank you, Radio Drago. I appreciate you being here. And I appreciate when I see you elsewhere, like over on the Game Channel, which is now on Saturdays in the evening. So pay attention to the that game place and enjoy that content. So there's that. Aerosomorphic says, if I'm lost in the woods, does a bear hear a tree fall on me while it's taking a dump? I don't know. It's a good question, though. I bet you my pal Loki would know, to be fair. Another SFXF 314 Sabertooth Raptor. Oh, no, that's the same one. All right. Maravita. YT still gets paid for the ads that the lurkers watch. That's true. Way to go, YouTube. Show you're dumb. Yeah. Well, yeah. Very silly. You guys are very funny in the chat. I recently got a dog. He looks like a little bear. I love that. See, I miss my little bear dog, Robert. So there's that. Our good friend. Awesome one. I've been asleep for 6 months during culture streams. Did I miss anything? Gifty bologna sausage. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Well, we've got Midnight Edge in the Morning coming up next in about 25 to 30 minutes. You're not going to want to miss today's conversation around all of the things is going to be very important. Our good friend Ruby Hoo for 2 more Culture Casino Cash says, hi, everyone in chat. Thank you, Ruby Hoove, for that. We've got, looks like maybe... Yeah, we got maybe a couple more minutes. We'll be hanging out here. Do check out, and thank you for this, Juliet. Do check out the Campione Reacts channel, Campione Reacts on YouTube. You will be entertained. Dropped a new video this morning about Don't Need No Man. And let me tell you, Steph is hysterical in there. It was super fun to make. We've got way more of those, unfortunately, because it's just 3 years worth of clips of women not needing men. and great examples of maybe why they do. That's been wild. We got Robert for another 2 Culture Casino cash saying Galactus jump would have tsunami'd Manhattan. That's true. There was a lot of loss of internal logic in that film, which I actually said, I think, in my live review. But yeah, I mean, and then did they try a very poor physical effect by having him uproot a tree? Or pull a dirt clod out with tree roots from it? I mean, overall, it looked terrible, in my opinion. It's like the one time where I'm like, you guys don't get it. Actually, the whole time that Galactus is on Earth is wrong, but that's a different conversation. Yeah, paying for YouTube Premium, worth every penny. Yeah, you save all those ads. Crazy stuff. Captain America, make mine Marvel. Well, yeah. How about we go back to original Marvel, my friend? That was good. I don't know what happened. And our friend Morgan King is correct here. I do want to pet a bear. I want to eat a dolphin. No, you want to pet a dolphin. Yeah. Where's Steve? Why doesn't he fix stuff? So good. Tom F., great to see you, buddy. Thank you for what you're doing. For those of you not on the Discord, check out the Discord server. Conversation in there is sparkling. I will be back to doing more on there starting, I think, on Wednesday. They definitely nerfed Galactus. Well, they shrunk him. Some other things. Merit, says Sander Hammerslag. I agree. But on that note, I just wanted to say a quick hi to my friend Luke. He's out there. Holler if you hear him. Check out some of his art, and everybody else here that's in a quality endeavor. I salute you. Do follow me over to Midnight's Edge in the Morning. Automatic redirect on the YouTube side of the equation. For those of you on X, well, they broadcast on X as well. And if you are on the Green Machine, I think they're over there also. So should be able to find us over there here in just about 20-ish minutes. I look forward to discussing the box office, the overall performance, and the shortcomings of Fantastic Four: Last Steps, because it is. I don't see Marvel being able to continue after Doomsday. I don't see a reason to continue filming the Doomsday Saga because it's going to end up being a tremendous waste of money. Did I miss Mexican Iron Man Super Chat? I read Mexican Iron Man Super Chat trying to send me to El Salvador, if I remember correctly. So F4 baby steps. There you go. Good job, Poot. On that note, Marvel is indeed dead. And as Tobak says, mahalo Beach Punk. Speaking of which, you can still get your very own Beach Punk gear, including your own rooster hat and mug and all of the other accoutrements over on beachpunk.com. That's right. Or .us. It goes both places goes there. And well, we missed the deadline for my website. Hopefully we can get that finished this month. On that note, I'll say this. Be sure to take care of yourself. Say hi to Channel Surf. Wash your hands because it's good hygiene. Take care of others. And until next time, see ya. Apparently I had a farm.
Oh, the culture had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm we had a cock, E-I-E-I-O. With a cock here and a cock there. Here a cock, there a cock, everywhere a cock. Old the culture had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. E-I-E-I-O.